Drew Barrymore says she's not had an intimate relationship since 2016. Girl, same. And I guess I'd like to reflect on the other side of this conversation. A conversation which is about, at least on the one hand, self-love, putting yourself first, being an independent woman, concentrating on finding yourself, on rebuilding yourself after a breakup. In the case of Drew Barrymore, she broke up with her husband of 4 years and has now just been on this process of processing everything and just figuring life out without her significant other, her ex-significant other, and being a mother to her 2 children. And there's people rooting for her and saying, good for her, you go queen, you be an independent woman and don't settle, be as picky as a woman ought to be. And I'm with them, you go woman. And then on the other hand, there's red pillars who I'm sure have their opinions on things. We don't need to get into that right now. But I think the other side of this conversation is one that is a bit neglected, and it's one that I really resonate with. And it's that side of the conversation which I really would like to talk about. So this is going to be a sort of parasocial therapy session for us. So I hope you enjoy. I was listening to this song by Christine and the Queens, and it's a song called Goya Soda, and there's one line in the song I was listening to yesterday whilst I was walking down the street, and I heard it, and it was the first time that I'd actually really tried to listen to the lyrics, because usually I'm just all in it for the beats. And this line, I heard it, and I immediately burst into tears. The line wasn't exactly moving or anything. It was just the following. He's always on my side, but never on me. And I think this made me reflect very much on my celibacy. I've been celibate for so many years, I cannot even count at this point. And when I reflect on why I haven't been in an intimate relationship, why I have been celibate for so many years, I have to say that it isn't because I am picky. Of course, I have my preferences, but they're nothing terribly out there or extreme. Every individual, and at least since I have been celibate, it has been men. Every man that I have shown interest in has not reciprocated my feelings. But these men are always on my side, but they are never on me. They are kind, they are my friends, they are exceptional individuals. But they never want that. They never want that relationship with me. And that's fine. I'm not here to be all woe is me or here to say I can't believe that these guys are not interested in me, whatever, each to their own. And you know what? Good for them. And I have to just wish them nothing but the greatest success in whatever relationships they end up having, because those women are incredibly fortunate. I think based on what we see online and especially what we just hear on the media, and I think with the popularization of evolutionary psychology, which really makes this image, this very attractive image that women have all the power, that women are the picky ones and can be picky, and that we have a lot to lose, which is very true when we are intimate with a man, and that men are just sex-hungry demons who just want to get their noodles wet, is a very attractive and very thorough, clean-cut image of what is going on in the modern dating market. And I think to a large extent, yes, that is at least a good sort of foundation on which to sort of view things and to start with. But at some point, with everything that involves human beings in society, we have to move away from the nature of things. We have to move away from the generalizations and actually have to personify individuals whom we engage with, whom we want to be intimate with, whom we want to get to know. And then all of that fluff, all of that appeal, that outward sort of Van Gogh-esque sort of scenery has to just be that sort of background scenery, and it doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter once you're in the moment with somebody. It doesn't matter when you care or love somebody. What matters is them as an exceptional individual in their own right. And when we consider that men have a lot more power than evolutionary psychology, than the manosphere would give them credit for, because women also get rejected. And I can tell you that it is very difficult getting rejected and then going online and being told how many options you have as a woman. And yes, maybe I am a toxic woman, who knows? But I think that it is important to also just reflect on this fact that women don't have all the eggs in our basket. And it is difficult, and it is a difficult thing to accept, especially when you are, I guess, like me, and can't just sort of have casual interactions, which I think would do well in at least increasing my self-esteem and my sense of being desirable. I think I have an issue in that I have been, I would say, in love, sort of inclined to be very invested in one individual since I was 17. And of course, in that time, I have dated, I've had relationships with other people, all of those shenanigans. But when it comes to somebody who I actually look at and think, if I were to get married, you would be the one. There is one individual in mind. And I think I also realize that the likelihood of this individual reciprocating my feelings just based on knowing them, just based on sort of our lives and where we've headed off and gone off and all of that, it would never come to that point. And that is a very far-fetched ideal to have on my part. And that is difficult, I think. That sort of stunts me very much in terms of seeking out partners, in terms of putting myself out there. And when I say that men also have eggs in their baskets, I mean that they really do. I mean, if you just go to a gym and you just see men in the gym, they are absolutely beautiful creatures. I mean, the Greeks really appreciated the beauty of men. I was walking again. I do a lot of walking. I was walking today and a man cycled toward me and gave me the most incredible smile. And it was just, wow. It was an amazing thing. I think even the ugliest man could smile and it would just light up a room. It's incredible. This isn't me saying, don't misconstrue this as me saying that women don't smile and women aren't beautiful. We know that. This is about being rejected by men. Okay, let me have my moment. And I think this definitely features into my self-esteem. And I do see this with a lot of women as well, that being rejected by a man, especially in this climate in which a woman, especially specifically younger women, are told that everybody wants us, that we can have any man in the room. The reality is not that. And men also have standards. Men also have expectations. Men are also picky. Men also have preferences. And I think it's not serving anybody to pretend that it is all very one-sided, because it really isn't. I guess this is just for any woman out there who's been rejected by a guy or who is celibate, not because they want to be, but because the men whom they've fallen for just aren't interested and just have their eyes elsewhere, their interests and priorities elsewhere. And it's tough. It is tough, and it makes me feel quite misanthropic about my future, about even wanting to pursue men, wanting to show that I am attracted to a man because, well, you know, I haven't had much luck thus far. I don't know why I made this video exactly. I think I just wanted to share this sentiment because I've just been seeing a lot of videos on YouTube at the moment about how men have it so hard because women are so picky and have such high standards. And of course, the internet is just hyperbole. The most otherworldly, the most outrageous, the most extraordinary things are the things that go viral, are the things that people pay attention to. It's not real life. It's not reality. When you see Instagram models on YouTube videos saying that they're only going to date or marry men who make $400,000 a year or more, I guarantee you that 99% of women in this world do not care about that, that there are things that we value a lot more. It's not helpful for anybody to sort of see a small percentage of women as representing all women, or a small percentage of men as representing all men. And I think sometimes we do just have to have these nuanced conversations in order to not just depend exclusively on these generalizations, to not just depend exclusively on these examples that seem to then present themselves as some kind of blueprint or example of the entire issue at hand. Life is messy, and I think that, you know, we have to wade into that mess in order to actually get to the root of things. So yes, I am celibate still. I'll keep you updated. At this point, I've got nothing to lose. No, it's not Liam Neeson. whom I've known since I was 17, that I wanted to marry. I've known that I've wanted to marry Liam Neeson since I emerged from the womb.